Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunrise Stroll and Chat. Welcome home to the Magdala family. There are some powerboats out there creating waves and splash. I'm not sure if that's the cause of these waves. I think there's actually another cause in nature, because it's unusual. Sometimes without wind there are waves here. You see, we're in a volcanic rift area and lots of different things can be happening here. Today I think we're going to have some beautiful heavenly art on the clouds. It's going to be gorgeous. We're just a little ahead of the game here. Today we won't have any delay in the sunrise. The sun will be up right over the goal line without cloud interference, it looks like. We have extra music from the water this morning, as the waves, it's too much to say crash on the shore because they're really tiny. We got one of our guests is here doing his camera work. Welcome, Malaysia, East Malaysia. Albert is always with us. Thank you for being such a faithful follower. How many people from East Malaysia are participating? I hope you're sharing this with tons of people there so that they can see the joy of the sunrise over the Sea of Galilee each morning. Right now it's quieter here. Yesterday we had all those Israeli tour guides having a wonderful time. They did a marvelous course, some wonderful professors, and it was very enlightening. They were very happy with the spirit of the place, with the beauty of the place. Some of them said they had often been here but had never realized the depth of the place. By staying for a few days, they were able to get into it more, and also with the explanations of the professors about the context of Jesus' ministry in the first century, in the context of, wow, look at that, the context of Galilee, of Magdala. Yiska gave a wonderful talk about the understanding of woman in the first century, and Professor Furstenberg gave conferences on prayer in the synagogue, and also yesterday on demons and evil spirits, how the whole mentality considered these realities, and this obviously was the context in which Jesus was preaching. So we're going to have a beautiful sunrise, people. Get ready, get your screenshots. This is something else. The light's already coming on the water, but not the intense light. Once the sun is up, we'll see that later. Or maybe I can do this little trick for you here. How about that? Take off your socks, and we'll do this right now. The waves will seem to be stopping for a moment here. So now you can get down in the water yourselves. You can even touch that with your fingers or your toes. Oh, there's the sun. Let's see it from this angle. There's the sun, people. Welcome to Sunrise Stroll and Chat here at the Sea of Galilee. Welcome, good morning people. Welcome to Sunrise Stroll and Chat. It's just a lovely morning. Just gorgeous. All for you. What a gift. Look at this sky. Good morning. With birds and water and sky and sunrise. What a beauty. There's quite a contrast in the readings today, and I'm just going to get a little started because I want to do something else for you later this morning, later in our little sunrise stroll and chat. The reading from the prophet Micah, whom we're starting today, chapter 2, in the first 5 verses. It's very hard. See, the prophets were living at a time of exile and suffering, but they were seeing this also in the light of selfish behavior. And there's actually the word here about the morning light. Woe to those who plan iniquity and work out evil on their couches. So they're still resting. While they're resting, they're working out plans for evil. Who plan iniquity and work out evil on their couches. In the morning light, as soon as they have light and can move, in the morning light they accomplish it when it lies within their power. They covet fields and seize them, houses and they take them. They cheat an owner of his house, a man of his inheritance. You know, humanity, for so long, even great people like King David had a moment like this. It's amazing. Therefore, thus says the Lord, there is a time of punishment. On that day a satire shall be sung over you, and there shall be a plaintive chant. Our ruin is complete, our fields are portioned out among our captors. The fields of my people are measured out, and no one can get them back. Thus you shall have no one to mark out boundaries by lot in the assembly of the Lord. So it's a huge call to conversion. And this call is coming. We human beings need that. We need calls to conversion. Look at those birds. How the clouds add some beauty, isn't that amazing? And even these clouds of evil that cross humanity's path every so often, in some places all the time, or there's always some place where there's some. There's extraordinary virtue flourishing in the souls of many. People turn to prayer, they turn to intimacy with God. They do heroic acts of charity and kindness, like we saw all the medical people during Corona. It's really amazing. how so much beauty appears in these times, spiritual beauty that lasts forever. Because the human heart will last forever. And the hard times, the cloudy times, are times for great flourishing of the human spirit. Perseverance, not being cowed down by the violence, putting boundaries to violence, even if they're just tears. I cannot go along with violence. I cannot go along with injustice. I cry. I weep over the injustice. Putting boundaries. Blessed are those who mourn, they shall be comforted. And this turns into prayer. Do not forget the poor, O Lord. Psalm 10. That's verse 12. So we have the first verses of Psalm 10, asking God, why do you stand far away? Sometimes we have that feeling. God is not close. God has abandoned us. God is, our comfort zone is troubled, is upset. We no longer have our comfort zone. People allow me, I'm going to switch back here because I just saw something beautiful. And somebody else did also. Our photographer here, guest photographer, is leaving. And I just turned around to see the sun, and sure enough, look at this, people. Look at this. Here's a reflection of the Lord's beauty in your eyes, in the eyes of children, in the eyes of the elderly who are tired and ill after a long life of service. There you got screenshots, people. Get your screenshots. Oops, let me get this down here. There might be a little off balance here. Just to... That's one of the nicest mornings on this window I've seen for a while. So wouldn't you like to be here taking pictures as well? But you can do it from the comfort of your couch. That's a beautiful moment. Let's do it like this. Now I'll zero in a little for you so you can get nicer shots. Come on, camera. There we go. All these nice little surprises. And here's a beautiful surprise for our visitors right at my feet. I brought in 2 truckloads of sand these the day before yesterday, and now there's a little beach here in the making. All this sand, the children love it, and the families can come here and have time with their children today on Shabbat. And we Shabbat Shalom to everybody. A Sabbath of peace, a Sabbath of beauty. Lord, do not forget the poor. It's interesting, when Pope Francis was elected, that's what one of the cardinals said to him, do not forget the poor. In a way, it's become a motto of his papacy, in a way. He's always a voice for the poor, for the downtrodden. I want to say a huge thank you to all the people who are sending in little donations, and some bigger ones. So really thank you very much to help us to upgrade. As soon as the final decisions are made here about exactly what, I'll give you a tally. And thank you for going to the donor page on Magdala website, magdala.org. It's the easiest way to do it. And you get a receipt immediately, a receivable receipt at magdala.org. And almost the price of the telephone is together, I think, well over half, as far as I know. So I really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I also want to apologize to a wonderful friend in Germany, and I was supposed to do something in the German stroll last evening, and I forgot. It was his 90th birthday. His name is Georg, and his wife is Barbara, and they gave the organ to Notre Dame. So can we sing happy birthday again for Georg? He's 90 years old yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Georg. Happy birthday to you. And you all know Erlene, and her father's birthday was yesterday as well. 104 years he would be, and other family members. So this is great. I want to take you to another spot to see some of the archaeology. Is that a good idea? Or do we stay with the sunrise? Give me a vote. You have to tell me what you want. Should we stay here watching the sunrise and we go another day to the archaeology and we just enjoy the beauty of this place? What do you say? You tell me. Good morning, New York. What do you say? Good morning, everybody. Louisiana and Texas. And somebody, Cecilia, is from very far away. I don't know where she is from. And from Jerusalem and Minnesota. And Malaysia. And Ireland. And Canada. So do you want me to see the archaeology, or do we just stay here? Let's stroll. That's one vote. We need more votes to stroll. Stay. Wow. We have somebody needs to start counting now. So it's split here. Sunrise and scripture. Stay with the sunrise. I'm from Ireland, of course, because there's little sunrises in Ireland. Archaeology, and we're split here, people. Archaeology, another one. Stay with the sunrise. Okay, so what's the tally? Sunrise, sunrise, stroll. This is good. I don't want to create division in the family, but let's make it. Let's keep coming here. Stay. Somebody is praying so we don't get into a civil war here. Sunrise, stroll. Keep voting. Stroll. Okay. Now, I did get a little bit of light about this. I got your votes. I consider these consultation votes, okay? Stay, please. Stay. Keep pushing. Okay, look at, you know what we're going to do? We only have 8 minutes. So, in 8 minutes, I can walk up there, but I don't have time to dwell on the archaeology. So let's make a bargain here. I need to get in a bit of archaeology before Mary Magdalene's feast day on Wednesday to show you more of her town, and I must do that the next coming days. But since this sunrise is so beautiful, let's stay here this morning. And I know you want to see the archaeology, and I don't want to forget, so you can even tell me tomorrow morning, God willing, if we're all alive and well, you can say, let's go and see some archaeology. But right now, let's see this sunrise. So we're going to stay here this morning, okay? Thank you for all your opinions, for your immediate reactions. This is very kind of you. And I will promise all those who want to go to see the archaeology that we will do more archaeology like we did a couple of days ago. But then we had surprise things that happened that took me up the mountain, that had all these people yesterday. So we missed a couple of days of archaeology. Now I've missed 3 days in a row of archaeology, so I have to make up for that. Good. So now, the gospel today is a tough gospel. Matthew 12:14-21. It says the Pharisees went out and took counsel against Jesus and put him to death. Now that's a pretty rough moment that's mentioned here in the Gospels. And obviously there's an awful lot to say about this subject of the Pharisees. And the Pharisees in general were a wonderful section of the Jewish community. They were very prayer-filled. They were very keen on doing God's will, on following the law. And in a certain sense, there were obviously some who were very hostile to Jesus, but in general the Pharisees were the group of people that was really cultivating the spiritual life. So it's important not to blanket all the Pharisees in this situation. And actually Professor Furstenberg, who was here yesterday, was telling me that he even has a personal picture with Pope Francis, and he was in Rome for an academic conference on the Pharisees. And it was all about trying to understand exactly what they were and to develop a plan to help to bring in more nuanced usage of the word Pharisee, that the Pharisees were not hostile enemies across the board at all. And if we remember, actually at Pentecost there were, what was the number? Was it like 3,000 or 500 of the priests? My morning memory is not great right now. Were baptized on Pentecost. So they weren't hostile, you know. So then, just making that comment here. But obviously some were hostile. And what did Jesus do? He organized a militia to take them out? No way. It says Jesus withdrew from that place. Many people followed him. He withdrew from that place, and many people followed him. And he cured them all. How much we need to be cured today in our heart, in our soul, in our body. He cured them all, but he warned them not to make him known. He was keeping a low profile. Amazing, isn't it, that the Word of God, made flesh, creator of all, keeps a low profile, because this is not the time for that kind of conflict. That's really amazing. And then the Gospel of Matthew said this was to fulfill what had been spoken through Isaiah the prophet. Behold my servant whom I have chosen, my beloved in whom I delight. I shall place my spirit upon him, and he will proclaim justice to the Gentiles. He will not contend or cry out, nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed he will not break, a smouldering wick he will not quench, until he brings justice to victory, and in his name the Gentiles will hope. What a heart, the heart of Jesus. What a heart of gentleness. A bruised reed. Look at all the reeds here. And many of them are bruised and broken. Let's go over and check them out. A bruised reed he will not break. How many bruised people around the world, bruised through so many hard experiences, so much brokenness, so many wounds. I'm going to show you all these reeds now here. So look at the reeds over here. And if he's talking at the Sea of Galilee, everybody knows what's a bruised reed. Look at all the water pouring in here. And it's over here in another pipe. This is water coming out of our archaeological site in the middle of summer, without rain for months. And there's still water pouring in. See all the bruised reeds, the broken reeds? Some of them were broken by our workmen as they cleaned up this area. A bruised reed he will not break. What a beautiful way to treat people who are broken, who are down. Lord, a bruised reed you will not break. A smouldering wick he will not quench. Until he brings justice to victory. The justice on Calvary. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Father, forgive them. They do not know what they are doing. This humility and patience in front of evil and violence and the abuse of the poor and the injustices of our world is not solved with guns and more violence, because that just breaks more people in the path. It's solved with the spirit of Calvary. A bruised reed you will not break. A smouldering wick you will not quench. From Isaiah the prophet. People, there's a lot of beauty this morning in nature, isn't there? So people, this was a beautiful sunrise. There's a fisherman over here. I'm not sure how much luck he's going to have. He's got his rod up. I've never seen anybody fish here actually in the years I've been here. At that point, you know. I've seen them fishing over at the dock where the boats are. Well, it's getting better, people, but we'll say goodbye. And God bless you for this in this beautiful morning. Goodbye from Sunrise Stroll and Chat at the Sea of Galilee. See you later.